Hey, you mix potions, right? Can you brew me an ale? If you're heading east, steer clear of Hilgrand's tomb. Thing about those old crypts, the dead having trouble staying that way.
I see you have returned. Lord Harkon will be pleased. You met Stulf and Salonia, I assume? Lord Harkon and I suspected they might follow you there. Well, of course they did. Welcome to the politics of Lord Harkon's court. Vengalmo and Orthiolf both long for our Lord's throne, but cannot make overt moves against him. Each sought to gain power by using his underling to kill you and keep the chalice for himself. By ensuring the chalice reaches our Lord, you have increased his power over them, and at the same time, deprived them of their little pets. You've done Lord Harkon 2 great services. Take what you've learned to heart, and be careful who you trust. Now, I believe that Lord Harkon wishes to speak with you.
Yes, Baron, of course. Those fools are actually fighting. Hey, watch what you're doing. You're outmatched. You can't defeat me. You're already dead.
Do you need something?
There's plenty for all.
I see you have returned. Lord Harkon will be pleased. You met Stolf and Salonia, I assume? Lord Harkon and I suspected they might follow you there. As well you should have. Welcome to the politics of Lord Harkon's court. Vingalmo and Orthiolf both long for our Lord's throne, but cannot make overt moves against him. Each sought to gain power by using his underling to kill you and keep the chalice for himself. By ensuring the chalice reaches our Lord, you have increased his power over them, and at the same time, deprived them of their little pets. You've done Lord Harkon 2 great services. Take what you've learned to heart, and be careful who you trust. Now, I believe that Lord Harkon wishes to speak with you.
The feast never ends here in Castle Volkihar.
I'm sure Lord Harkon is grateful you've returned his daughter.
Do you need something?
Hello there. Do you need something? Speak with Vingalmo. He has something for you. Until next time.
Ah, you are here. Good. You have earned my trust, so I will share what I can. Serana and her mother disappeared long ago. I commanded every vampire in the court to look for them, but after centuries of searching without success, I lost hope. In my heart, I know that it was my wife, Valerica, who took my beloved daughter away from me. If I ever see her again, she will pay most dearly for that betrayal. What else do you want to know? Her name was Valerica. She has been gone for so long now, I can only assume she has left this world one way or another. I will say only that we did not part on good terms. What else do you want to know? Very well. Yes, I did. When I told you that I was grateful for my daughter's safe return, I told the truth. But I did not tell you everything. Good. Strong instincts and a cunning mind will serve you as well as blade, spell, or claw. As you know, vampires are powerful, but we have limits. Our great enemy is the sun. And until recently, it's an enemy we've had no way to fight. For centuries, I searched for an answer to this problem. I found an old prophecy written by a moth priest. Those scholars who read the Elder Scrolls. The prophecy tells of a time in which vampires will gain power over the sun and will no longer fear its tyranny. I believe the secret to unraveling that prophecy is written in Serana's Elder Scroll. I have ordered the court to assemble. I have a new task for us all to carry out, and that includes you. Come now, and hear my proclamation. Scions of the night, hear my words. The prophesied time is at last upon us. Soon we will claim dominion over the sun itself, and forge a new realm of eternal darkness. Now that I have reclaimed one of my Elder Scrolls, we must find a Moth Priest to read it. I have spread false rumors about the discovery of an Elder Scroll in Skyrim to lure a Moth Priest here. Now it is time to see if those efforts have borne fruit. Go forth and search the land for rumors of a Moth Priest within our borders. Look to the cities. Speak to innkeepers, carriage drivers, anyone who would meet a traveler. Go now, and carry out this task. This is my command.
It will be done, my lord.
Any idea how you're going to find a Moth Priest? Skyrim's a pretty big place. Well, back before you know, the College of Winterhold was the first place I'd think to go for any kind of magic or historical thing. The wizards know about all kinds of things that people probably shouldn't know about. Actually, now that I think of it, I'm going to come along with you. I've been really wanting to get out and explore a bit. I mean, as much as anyone. Not a lot. You'd figure a couple hundred years locked away with one would have given me some insight, but no. Turns out you don't learn much from just sleeping with something.
You'll do well to watch that tongue, elf.
And you do well
Not
to
at
be more
this
careful
rate,
who
no.
you engage in witty banter.
That's a long story. I guess we kind of have to go way back, to the very beginning. Do you know where vampirism came from? Exactly. The first vampire came from Molag Bal. She was not a willing subject, but she was still the first. Molag Bal is a powerful Daedric lord, and his will is made reality. For those willing to subjugate themselves, he will still bestow the gift, but they must be powerful in their own right before earning his trust.
Yes, fair enough, of course. I'll see to it.
The ceremony was degrading. Let's not revisit that. But we all took part in it. Not really wholesome family activity, but I guess it's something you do when you give yourselves to a Daedric lord. Well, you've met most of us. My father's not exactly the most stable, and eventually he drove my mother crazy with him. And it all ended with me being locked underground for who knows how long. It's definitely been a bad thing, on the whole. I will be. Just give me a little time.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Are we clear? You are now in the Arcanium, of which I am in charge. It might as well be my own little plane of oblivion. Disrupt my Arcanium, and I will have you torn apart by angry Atronachs. Now, do you require assistance? A mage is only as good as what he knows. I try to make sure as much knowledge is available as possible. We've been keeping this collection since the Second Era. Books have come and gone during that time, but it's mostly intact. Of course I do. If I didn't, most of these books would have been burned to ashes or dissolved to nothing before the Third Era. Mages need to be reminded to be careful around research materials. A moth priest? What in oblivion do you need a moth priest for? Fine, fine. No need to get your britches in a twist. The obvious answer is to go to the Imperial City. The moth priests make their home in the White Gold Tower. Sometimes they go out looking for Elder Scrolls. Lucky for you, there's a moth priest in Skyrim right now, doing just that. He stopped in to do some research in the library, then left for Dragonbridge. If you hurry, you might catch him there. Hundreds of... If you're feeling adventurous, I'm always looking for someone to procure valuable books from some more dangerous locations. Well, all right, here. I scribbled down the last place I'd heard about. Check it out, but be careful. As a matter of fact, there are. Have you ever heard of Shalador? Immensely powerful mage, back in the First Era. Had an understanding of magic few have ever matched. He holed himself up in Labyrinthian and devoted all his time to research and study, but more than you would imagine possible. Since then, his writings have been scattered all over Skyrim, but are little use to anyone who can't translate them. I'm one of the few who can. I've heard whispers of more of his work having turned up. If you can track it down, it may prove useful to all of us. All right, then.
Fida, please stop looking at me like that. First the war, and now there's talk of dragons. What's
a
next?
moth priest?
Someone
I'm
do
sorry,
something.
I don't know anything about that. Try asking one of the guards. That'll teach you.
This should be...
Where'd you...
I swear I'll kill you.
I'm not gonna... Die like this.
You can't
This
ends now!
You win!
Done and done.
Oh, what happened?
Let's move faster. The sun is... It's not great for my skin, if you know what I mean. Yes?
Hold it there. Keep your distance. Another girl killed. This is Susanna, from Candlehearth Hall. Served me a drink just a few nights ago. But I can't say I knew her. Susanna's the third. It's always the same. Young girl killed at night, body torn up.
I ask only for a little charity.
We're stretched thin as it is with the war. Nobody has the time to spend on this. Not pleasant, but it's the truth. If you want to help, ask some of these gawkers if they saw anything useful. I'm going to examine the body before the rats can get to it.
A few coins to help
Let's get indoors. Or in a cave. Anywhere, just none of this.
Your skin's as pale as the snow. You scared of sunlight or something? Every bit as sharp as what you'll find in Whiterun. I respect Yorland, but he has the good fortune to work the Skyforge. Something about the fires. Their steel just holds tighter. If that makes any sense. I don't see these troubles as business. This is a labor of honor. To bring Ulfric his rightful glory, I would hammer 1,000 shields. Shore's bones. I might just have to. Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs. It's armor. Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs. If you meet anyone in your travels who needs good steel, send them my way.
I had expected Ysgrimmar City to be bigger.
Won't give us a straight answer.
He's a true Nord. He'll come around.
Don't be so sure of that. We've intercepted couriers from Solitude. The Empire's putting a great deal of pressure on Whiterun.
And what would you have me do?
If he's not with us, he's against us.
He knows that. They all know that.
How long are you going to wait?
They used to call
You
Windhelm
think I need
the
to
City
send
of
Bolgraf a
Kings.
stronger message?
In my books, anyway.
If by message you mean shoving a sword through his gullet.
Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace would make a more powerful statement, don't you think?
So we're ready to start this war in earnest then?
Soon.
I still say you should take them all out like you did dead King Torrig.
Torrig was merely a message to the other Jarls. Whoever we replace them with will need the support of our armies.
We're ready when you are.
Things hinge on Whiterun. If we can take the city without bloodshed, all the better. But if not...
The people are behind you.
Many, I fear, still need convincing.
Then let them die with their false kings.
We've been soldiers a long time. We know the price of freedom. But people are still weighing things in their hearts.
What's left of Skyrim to wager?
They have families to think of.
How many of their sons and daughters follow your banner? We are their families.
Well put, friend. Tell me, Galmar, why do you fight for me?
I'd follow you into the depths of oblivion. You know that.
Yes, but why do you fight? If not for me, what then?
I'll die before elves dictate the fates of men. Are we not one in this?
I fight for the men I've held in my arms, dying on foreign soil. I fight for their wives and children whose names I heard whispered in their last breaths. I fight for we few who did come home, only to find our country full of strangers wearing familiar faces. I fight for my people, impoverished to pay the debts of an empire too weak to rule them, yet brands them criminals for wanting to rule themselves. I fight so that all the fighting I've already done hasn't been for nothing. I fight because I must.
Your words give voice to what we all feel, Ulfric. And that's why you will be High King. But the day words are enough will be the day when soldiers like us are no longer needed.
I would gladly retire from the world, were such a day to dawn.
Aye, but in the meantime, we have a war to plan.
Galmar thinks we should double our men in the Reach.
A reasonable strategy.
And you, Yorleaf?
Well, sir, the hold at Falkreath is fairly vulnerable, and blocks the only road from Cyrodiil.
A good point, old friend.
To be sure, my lord, I am not skilled in the arts of war or military tactics.
But you're able to see the hole in the parts, and for that I'm grateful.
As you wish, sir.
Only the foolish or the courageous approach a Jarl without summons. Do I know you? Ah, yes. Destined for the chopping block, if I'm not mistaken. Railof's alive. I hope that's true. He's a damn good man, but he hasn't returned yet. So I'll need to wait for his account. For now, speak with Galmar. I'm always looking for able fighters. Not everyone can say they made it out of Helgen. Seems we're all branded villains these days. So long as your criminal past stays in the past, and you fight for me with honor and integrity, we'll welcome you into our ranks.
Aye, but in the meantime, we have a war to plan. Helgen, eh? Ulfric told us quite the story. If you made it through all that, you're likely worth something to me. Yeah, but first, tell me, why does a foreigner want to fight for Skyrim? Fair enough, but are you willing to die for your home? All right. But before I can put you to use, I need to know how much you can take. I have a little test for you. The kind men use to measure themselves. I'm sending you to Serpentstone Island. If you survive, you pass. If you die, well, you weren't going to be much use to me anyway. It's where men have tested their metal for ages. There's a strange rock formation built by the ancients. Something about that place attracts the ice wraiths. You kill an ice wraith out there, and I'll have all the proof I need about you. Only the ones I'm not sure about. This will prove your abilities, but more importantly, it will prove your commitment. We'll see about that, won't we?
Tell me again why we're wasting time and dwindling resources chasing a legend.
Like those eyes you got.
Even know it
With a
exists.
bad hunger to them.
The Jarls are upset. They don't all support you.
Damn the Jarls.
They demand the moot.
And damn the moot! We should risk letting those milk drinkers put Toryg's woman on the throne? She'll hand Skyrim over to the elves on a silver plate.
All the more reason, then. The crown would legitimize your claim.
A crown doesn't make a king.
No, but this one.
If it even exists.
It exists, and it will be the symbol of the righteousness of our cause. Think about it. The jagged crown. It heralds back to a time before Jarls and moots. Back to the time when the king was a king because his enemies fell before him, and his people rose because they loved him. Skyrim needs that king. You will be that king, Ulfric. You must be.
You're certain you found it?
When have I ever been false with you?
Fine. I'll send the Unblooded here with you. Fancy a crawl through a moldering dungeon to see if you can't stir up Garmar's jagged crown.
It will be there. You'll see. You're alive. I owe Ulfric a drink. I have to admit, I didn't think we'd be seeing you again. I misjudged you. You're definitely Stormcloak material. It's time we made this official. You ready to take the oath? Not at all. That was as much a test of your abilities as it was your resolve. I wasn't sure your heart was in it, but you've proven me wrong, and I respect that. Now, if we're done being sentimental, it's time for you to take the oath. Before you're one of us, you must swear fealty to Jarl Ulfric Stormcloak, future High King of Skyrim. You must also pledge unswerving loyalty to your fellow Stormcloaks, to Skyrim, and to her people. That's the spirit. By swearing this oath, you become one of us, a heroine of the people, a true daughter of Skyrim, a Stormcloak. Repeat after me. I do swear my blood and honor to the service of Ulfric Stormcloak, Jarl of Windhelm and true High King of Skyrim. As Talos is my witness, may this oath bind me to death and beyond. Even to my lord, as to my fellow brothers and sisters in arms. All hail the Stormcloaks, the true sons and daughters of Skyrim. Now you're one of us, which means you get to tag along on a little trip with me. Oh, and here. You're a Stormcloak now. You ought to look the part. Watch yourself out there.
Keep your eyes open.
Get yourself kitted out with what you need. Welcome to the fight, brother.
Yes? This better not be all the things you just can't be bothered with.
Genuine Falmer elixir for sale. Lived for thousands of years.
What brings you? Take a look. Remember, nothing like looking to protect yourself or deal some damage. Remember, nothing but genuine fire salts will do. The Forge knows the difference.
Your skin's as pale as the snow. You scared of sunlight or something?
Jetpacks, potions, exotic ingredients. I have them all.
Big lump like a saber cat. Don't crush your enemies.
Any luck gathering those ingredients?
You here for less? Take a look. Yes, goodbye.
Sorry, just thinking about my experiments.